Hello, it's Vanessa Talbot in my kitchen, just cooking up a bit of lunch. So sorry for the overhead lighting. It's not the most flattering, but busy making some lunch right here. Late lunch, I know. Um, and I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to have a quick chat to you about the biggest Facebook group evil that gets committed out there. And, if you've done it, that's okay, move on. And if you haven't, if you're just starting your own Facebook group, this will be perfect information for you so that you don't make this mistake before you start. So my name's Vanessa Talbot. I'm the creator of this group that you're in, Coaches, Experts, Step into the Spotlight. Now, I've had this one going for about 2 years now, and we did have very, very quick growth in the early days. And scooting along quite nicely. We did slow down a lot of growth for a few reasons, but this is where we're at now. So let's have a chat about this biggest blunder. While I'm in the kitchen, I'm making this beautiful beetroot, pea and feta salad for my lunch. And as I said, lighting's not the best, but will do. So I see this particular blunder time and time again. And I think, a few people make it out of arrogance and they see it. I think people do this because they see it as the fastest way to grow their group. When they first started up, because it's that initial first week that gives your group that lift up that was going to get things starting. I do welcome anyone to ask questions and make comments along the way as well. I'm happy to answer any that you have for you along the way. But as I said, this particular evil or sin or baddie, whatever you want to call it, most of the time I think people do it either they've been told to do it, and it really is a no-no, it's not great advice, or B, they just don't know how things are done, and this seems like the most logical way to get your group growing quickly and get it happening fast. But all that's going to happen if you commit this biggest blunder, this sin in Facebook group land, and this biggest sin that Facebook group creators do, this big evil, all it's going to do is make you lose. It's going to make you lose out. It's going to make you lose your friends on Facebook land. It is a surefire way to get defriended in a hurry, or completely unfollowed, or completely ignored. And this biggest blunder that I see people do is adding people to your Facebook group in that first startup. And so you add everyone who's your friend so that you can get that 500, 700, 800 members in there straight away, so it looks like it's gone boom. It sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? Just dump all your friends in there and they'll be there to support you. And problem is, Facebook friends are not necessarily Facebook friends. As we know in our business land, Facebook friends are usually often someone who you've never even met. You may have even had, well, if you're lucky, you've had a short Facebook message or email conversation with them, but most of the time you won't even have conversed with the vast majority of them. So you don't want to go down this angle. What's a better way? Well, first off, let me first tell you why you don't want to go down this angle, because when you think about it, if you are adding all these people into your group, and for a lot of them, they won't even care. Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of them won't be a market match. So you're just adding everyone into it so you can get the numbers up. But heaps of those people will not be a market match. They won't be the right people to put in your group. So this goes back to being selective and having the right people in there. But, for example, I've been added to dating and relationship groups that I didn't ask to be in. I was just added into them because I was friends of that friend. Like girl talk groups. Now, there's nothing wrong with those type of groups, but I strictly am not interested in those sort of girl type groups you know, talking mummy stuff and relationship stuff and all that sort of stuff. It's not my deal. So to add me into a group like that, all it did was fuel resentment. I lost respect for the person that did it. And I did remove myself from the group straight away. But there's a lot of people out there who won't remove themselves from the group because they don't want to offend. I'm a little bit different. I don't really care if I offend, but that's just me. You know, I just do it the way that pleases me. But if you have people in there that don't want to be in there, they won't necessarily remove themselves. So you've still got your numbers, but guess what? Ooh, they're boiling away in resentment underneath it because you've pushed them into something and a place where they don't want to be. You've taken away their right of choice by putting them in something that they might not want to have been. Oh, well, Kevin, just call it as it is. There's no point hiding. You know, if you add me to a group and I don't want to be in there, I will actually just remove myself. I won't stay there. So what you're doing, as I said, with the ones that are staying there, yeah, some of them may be happy, you know, because they're the perfect match for the group. Okay, and we get that. But for some of them, they don't want to offend, so they'll stay there. But because there's resentment boiling away underneath, you know, boil, 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 do you think they're going to engage? Your group will just be one of those groups that they're a member of that they never go near. And this is one of the things where you have heaps of people in your group. You know, you've started off your group with a bang and it looks like it's going well because you've got 300, 400 people in there all in a hurry, boom, boom, boom. But you can't get any engagement or any interaction in there. And that's because a lot of those people that you've added probably don't want to be there. They either don't feel a fit for the group, or secondly, you've taken away their right of choice by putting them in there. I would say for all group owners that this is really important to note, not just for the beginning of your group. You know, as I said, it's a strategy that is taught for people to do at the beginning of their group to get their numbers up and get their group pumping quickly. It doesn't pump the group. All it does is get the numbers there, but it's not a pumped group. But some people are still adding people to their groups, like, you know, by sending the friend request, and then when they come a friend, because you can only add friends to a group. We know that, okay? You can't add anyone else. They have to be friends on your friend list. So therefore, sending out heaps of friend requests, and then as soon as they accept the friend request, adding them into your group. Again, oh my God, that is going to just drop your credibility within social media land and amongst your peers dead smart quick. So do be wary of it. Look, trust me, if you have made that mistake with your group, and I do know some people who have made that mistake and, you know, it worked out quite badly, but it's not the end of your, it's not the end of your career here on social media in Facebook group land. You know, send out an apology, give people the option to leave, do whatever it is that you need to do to resurrect those relationships with those people. You know, some people, you know, many people may stay just because you admit to the mistake. But for God's sake, if you've made that mistake, admit to it, and people often can be quite kindly. But if you say nothing, they sense a sense of arrogance, and you will find it very challenging to rebuild those relationships. So what's the better ways? What is the better way than going and adding people who are on your friends list to your group when, you know, they haven't even said that they want to be in there? So I have this super, super special way that I hardly, in fact, I don't think I've ever seen anyone else use it. Not saying that they haven't, but I don't see it used. So maybe it's just my special little secret sauce. And because of that, I'm actually going to keep that one for the masterminders who are coming into the Facebook group Magicians Mastermind, which we are starting this month. We do still have spaces left, so if you want to jump in on that, let me know, because that secret special little sauce will be reserved for those people. But I will give you a tip if you are listening live or watching this in replay later on. One of the things that I see a lot of people do, and it does work very, very effectively, but it is extremely time consuming. So my secret little method is kind of in between the slapdash, let's just add everyone who's on my friend list into there because that's quick, that's easy. And then the long, laborious other method that many use, and it is effective and it does work well. So I would suggest that if you want to get people into your group, you do look at this method. And mine's in between. So it's not quite so labor intensive, but it's also not the quick fix as well. So I don't think mine's like the perfect solution. But the other one that you can put into practice that I am going to tell you, because it is the one that many, many people use, and that is to private message the people that you feel would be a great fit for your group. Let them know about your group, that you've opened it up. Let them know why it's a good fit for them and why you would value them as a group member. Include the link to your group and just send that invite out. It's quite effective. Like, not everyone will want to be a member. You know, I get those messages, and if it's one that I feel is a fit for me, I say, yes, thank you very much, I'm in. And if it's not, I say, no thanks, all the best. And that's okay. But what you're doing is giving people choice, okay? And that's the important thing, and that's where the power is. You have to allow people to stay in their place of power of choice. Give them that choice. So send them an invite via Facebook message. And oh my God, yes, it is labor intensive, very laborious, but it's very effective. And there's a lot of the bigger groups out there. And I remember the group creator, when they were building those groups, doing that tactic, because I do remember getting those messages. And I would say that is probably your fail-safe method to get members into your group at the start of it. So if you start a group, you have to be prepared to put in the time, and that's it. You can't look for quick fixes. You have to put in the time. It's labor intensive. It takes some time to get a group up and growing. So send out those private invites to the people that you know would be a good fit. You know, I'm still spewing over those people that add me to their groups. It's kind of like, okay, I forgive them. But, you know, I think it damages some relationships there. Yeah. And that's what it's about, Kevin. Thank you. You're always so kind and always comment on my lives. So that is my little tip, is invite people personally. Do not commit that Facebook blunder. I don't care who told you or how big they were or how well known they are that told you to add all your friends into your group. You are committing social media suicide if you do that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It is totally gross when people just add you to a group. As I said, some people don't know these rules of social engagement, and so they make this mistake. And if you have made that mistake, then move on and just do it the way that is better for, you know, is more going to do better for you in terms of building your relationships with other people. You know, people always like to have choice. So if you take that choice away from them, forgiveness will be a hard thing to get back. I can assure you of that. I've seen it happen too much often. Okay, so that's my tip on about the biggest blunder, and please don't commit it. If you are starting a new Facebook group, then invite people personally by sending messages. Labor intensive, but it is about that communication, building that relationship and that personal touch. You're just adding everyone into your Facebook group who happens to be on your friend list. That is feta cheese on my fingers, by the way. I've been cutting up feta cheese to add to my beetroot and peas here for my salad. Totally lost track, but you know what I mean, okay? It's just not going to work well. So I'm just going to let you know that if you want in, where I will teach my very special secret method that I don't see very many people at all doing, and it is not quite so labor intensive, and it is actually how I got my people in this group built from 0 to 500 within a week. So our growth was very, very smart. I mean, very clever. Okay, I'm smart and I'm clever. Here I am getting tongue-tied because I'm smart and I'm clever. Not all the time. Our group grew quickly within that week, 500 people, boom, in there. And I didn't have to add one person who never asked to be there. Every one of those 500 people requested to join my group in that first week. So that is the aim. That is what you want to aim for. You want to get those requests to join your group. You do not want to add anyone who has not asked to be there. So Facebook group Magicians, we are starting that this month. I haven't set a proper date yet because I'm still working out where the people are coming from that's coming into this mastermind, and going to find a time. It will be on Fridays though, a time that's going to suit everyone. But if you want in, just message me. I've got a rundown of the schedule of all the things that you're going to learn in that mastermind. And remember, this is not just a program. It is a mastermind. So not only will you be tapping into my ideas and knowledge around Facebook groups, I'll also be giving you, I have friends who have amazing big groups, even bigger than mine, or even heaps more engagement than mine as well. And I'll give you their special secrets that they use to get those things happening. But also you'll be tapping into the creativity and insights of the other mastermind participants as well. So that's why it's a group collective. But it's not just a training program. You're not just going to sit there and learn. You're going to interact as a mastermind, brainstorm creative ideas of what's going to work best for each individual person's group that is in that mastermind. It's really suitable for people who already have a group, but you find you're not getting that group growth or that engagement, and you haven't been able to monetize it yet. So being able to monetize a group is one of those things that I think anyone in our industry, that's one of the main aims of why we start a group. If you haven't been able to monetize it yet, then we'll help you with that. Well, I'll help you with that. And obviously the masterminders and brainstorms will really help you as well. It's great for someone who is thinking about starting a group. It will get you off on the right foot first up. So you won't have to make any of those killer mistakes that can leave your name mud forevermore. You'll get it right pretty much first up. So you won't have to make those. So if you are interested in the Facebook group Magicians Mastermind, it is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to take groups that are not thriving and we are going to turn them into groups that are thriving, fully engaged. We're going to show you how to actually get those people out of your group into building your email list as well. And also, of course, how to monetize those groups and how to obviously get growth without doing that biggest blunder that of all biggest blunders in Facebook group land, and that's adding people who haven't requested to be there. If you want to know more about the Facebook group Magicians, then just message me. I have no fancy sales page at all for this one. I love my fancy sales pages, but for this one it's just up and let's run with it. So we have people already that are signed in, ready to rock and roll. We need a few more to make this mastermind buzz the way we want it to buzz. So if you want to be in on that, you message me. I will send you the schedule and the rundown and the details, and then we will get started. And it's a 60 days with one call a week. So think of where you'll be at the end of 60 days. That's 2 months. And in 2 months, your group will be from flat to hardly getting any members, and you will have it highly engaged and getting far more members applying each day, or potential members applying each day to come and join your group. Okay, thank you. I'm going to go and enjoy my beetroot and feta and pea salad for a very, very late lunch. Bye-bye.